In 1972, Marilyn Chambers was the face of American purity, literally. She was the star of America's most trusted household brand, Ivory Soap. Their famous slogan, 99 and 44 divided by 100% pure. But within weeks, that slogan would become a cruel irony and a marketing department's worst nightmare. Chambers had secretly filmed a movie that would not just end her multi-million-dollar career, but redefine the American sexual revolution. This is the true story of Marilyn Chambers, the scandal that ended her Ivory Soap career. Born Marilyn Ann Briggs in 1952, she was a symbol of the suburban American dream, aspiring model, good looks, and a keen ambition that quickly took her to San Francisco. But the counterculture was brewing, and Marilyn was ready to shed the facade of purity. By 1970, she was a struggling young actress and model, just another face trying to make it. Now, before we dive into the pivotal moment that changed her life forever, I have to ask, if you're watching this deep dive history, you're exactly the type of viewer we make these documentaries for. About 95% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. If you want more untold histories of cultural icons, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. It's the single best way to support this channel and ensure you don't miss our next video. Marilyn Chambers soon landed a lead role in a highly controversial film being made by the Mitchell brothers. At the same time, she was a working model and landed the coveted role as the face of Ivory Soap, a product steeped in decades of family tradition. The public only saw the glossy ad campaign. They never saw the other film Chambers was making in secret. The contrast was staggering. On one hand, the promise of family cleanliness. On the other, a radical cinematic challenge to censorship. This was a ticking time bomb. One single image was all it took to merge these two worlds into a media disaster. The film was released in 1972, and within days, the marketing brilliance of the Mitchell brothers turned it into a cultural explosion. They used the Ivory Soap tagline against the company. Marilyn Chambers is 99 and 44 divided by 100% pure, but she's got that 56 divided by 100% pure. The fallout was immediate. Procter & Gamble, the manufacturer of Ivory Soap, panicked. They were forced to publicly terminate Chambers' contract, citing an extreme breach of moral standards. The scandal made Chambers a pariah to Madison Avenue, but a countercultural icon overnight. For the first time, a leading figure from the sexual revolution had been directly linked to a beloved mainstream product, forcing a conversation about morality, censorship, and female agency in American households. This was a crucial moment in Lost 70 Seconds history.
When you do an X-rated film and you undress and you do things on screen, how do you feel after the movie is finished and it's out and people are looking at you, and men especially? Do you feel uncomfortable if you think that they're disrobing you with their eyes?
Love it. Are you kidding? What woman wouldn't love that? If she does, she doesn't. She's crazy.
Well, I think there's a lot of women that wouldn't want to admit it.
That's true. But I don't feel guilty about anything I've done, so I'm having a good time.
You sing, you dance, you do movies, you do television, you do nightclubs. Why do you choose to do X-rated films?
Simply because it turns me on. You know, and I think that it's important to do something that you really enjoy, and I mean, if people are going to come watch me, then I'll keep doing it.
Do you make a great deal of money doing something like this?
Yeah, pretty good amount.
Do you have a hand, so to speak, in helping pick your leading man?
In picking my leading man, I was going to ask you if you wanted to co-star in my next film. Honestly.
Well, if Arnold Schwarzenegger lets me work out with him for about 1.5 years or 2 years, you know, to put everything back where it belongs.
Yeah, you look
maybe.
great.
But seriously, do you get a chance, or are you instrumental at all in saying, I want him, I don't want him, he's not good enough?
I don't like to ever say I want him. You know, because I feel that it's much more fun if it's a surprise. It makes it more interesting, definitely. But if it's somebody who who's really horrible, just really turns me off. I'm a good enough actress where I could do it. Definitely.
Okay.
The media firestorm surrounding Marilyn Chambers wasn't just about one actress. It became a symbol of the decade's deep societal divide. The establishment saw her as a threat to traditional family values, while artists and liberals hailed her as a pioneer. This wasn't merely entertainment, it was political. Her image was being used to sell everything from movie tickets to social change. The film itself became a cultural phenomenon, screening in mainstream theaters where crowds lined up around the block. Chambers, however, found herself typecast, effectively blacklisted from the very mainstream Hollywood career she initially wanted. This permanent rift defined her path. She became the accidental symbol of the sexual revolution's most uncomfortable truth, that cultural freedom often comes with a steep personal cost. What Chambers did next proved her legacy would be one of defiance. Unable to return to the wholesome modeling world, Chambers quickly pivoted, leveraging her instant fame into new ventures. She understood the power of her notoriety and refused to fade away. She starred in subsequent films, but critically, she moved into music and art, demonstrating that her ambition extended far beyond a single industry. She released albums, performing in clubs and theaters, taking control of her own narrative. This shift cemented her status as an independent icon, a figure who successfully built a decades-long career by simply refusing to apologize for her past. She became a model for self-determination, proving that even after a massive public scandal, a star could reclaim their identity and continue creating. Her struggle resonated deeply, especially within the mature, discerning audience who had witnessed this cultural shift firsthand. Despite the cancellation, Chambers embraced her status as a revolutionary figure. She continued to act, record music, and tour for decades, constantly blurring the line between high and low culture. Her later life was a complex journey of personal challenges and professional resurgence, always fighting against the moral outrage that began with that single casting decision. In the end, Marilyn Chambers' true legacy wasn't the career she lost, but the cultural boundary she demolished, a history that continues to shape our media landscape today. If you found this deep dive into the untold story of Marilyn Chambers fascinating, let us know in the comments below who you want us to cover next. And remember to check out our playlist of other Golden Age film documentaries right here. Point to End Screen Element. Click the video on your screen now to watch the definitive biography of Vanessa Del Rio, another icon who challenged the limits of cinema.